It's hot. This is a continuation from my last video. Like I said, I'm gonna try to be pumping them out as much as I can. What do I want to talk about? Let me see. To be honest with y'all, I write a bunch of topics down on. You want to see something? So, look how bad my screen protector is. Look, this is the front-facing camera. I don't know if you can see that. Just look how bad my screen is too. I don't even know if you can see, but it's really bad. It's embarrassing. Let's talk about. I want to do that one another day. It's too living off of borrowed time. The clock ticks faster. Now, if you know rap, you might know MF Doom, and if you know MF Doom, you definitely know that. But, mostly with that, I just want to say how I feel like every year. It's not how I feel. This is the fact. The reason why, as you get older, time seems to go by faster is because you add one more year of experience to your life. So that meaning, since there's more time that you've added to your life, there's more time that you've experienced, every year becomes a shorter part of your life. You know that. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. I can try explaining it again. But pretty much, you know. That's why I feel like you have to take. Okay, that's one thing I gotta work on. I gotta stop saying I feel like. That's how I've been talking for years, and especially in my line of business, you have to kind of be a little more formal with people because you meet all kinds of people. So you know. Okay, I feel like the truth of the matter is the more time you live, the faster you experience time. And the faster you experience time, the faster your life goes by, you know? With that, I want to say, don't forget to live. Don't forget to, every day, it doesn't matter how big your dreams are. You should dream big, 100%. You should dream big. You should dream big enough that it scares you, that it makes people doubt you, that it makes you doubt yourself at times, you know? You should dream that big. But not because you're not going to do it, but because that way you know that you're dreaming the right things. Before, in high school, I didn't really have a dream. I did, okay? But I'll just be honest right off the bat. I wanted to be a rapper, okay? I wanted to be a rapper ever since I was in like 6th, 7th grade. I love rap music. I love music in general. Rap music being, you know, one of my favorite genres. Probably my favorite genre, to be honest. But, point is, I wanted to be a rapper. And now, I don't know if you know, I'm not a rapper, but that's because I started to put my feet on the ground. And it's not because I didn't believe in myself. I feel like I could have made it. I 100% feel like if I would have put my mind to it, if I really would have tried and just gotten uncomfortable, I could have been a rapper. But I didn't want to be a rapper. I didn't want to live a life that rappers live. Because I don't know if you've seen, you know, how rappers live, and it's not just all money and fame. You know, first of all, I don't like attention as much as you might believe it, because I'm doing YouTube and all that. And I don't like all kinds of attention. Let's just say that. I don't like negative attention. I don't like people knowing that, you know, oh, he's got this, or oh, he's got that, or yeah, this and that. You know, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like the spotlight being on me. You know, I mean, we all like attention. We're all social creatures. All humans like attention, whether they want to admit it or not. Everyone likes attention. Point is, I'm obviously not a rapper. And I started to see the pros and cons of you know, chasing that life. And one thing that I came to realize was that one thing that I want in my life is financial stability, 100%. I don't want to work. Financial stability and freedom of time. Two very important things for me. I want to be a boss in control of my own time. If I want to go into work at 5 p.m. and get out at 9, I can. Now, is it going to be beneficial? Probably not. You know, I'm probably going to lose money. But I want to be in control of my time. And I am in control of my time, you know. Now, I want to say right off the bat, disclaimer, I am where I'm at in life, you know, with all the positions presented to me and available to me, I should say, all the stuff going on for me, everything that I have. I want to give a huge shout out to my dad, just I want to thank my father first of all. My dad is the reason that I am where I'm at. He took me under his wing, and I don't want to come out here and have you believe that I'm fully self-made and this and that. No, my dad was a huge stepping stone in my life. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Okay, now that we're clear on that, let me just say that. Now, I took up after him. You know, he still works. We work together. You know, I'm doing more of the business aspect of it. I'm doing the sales, you know, whatever. I took up after him, and I quickly realized, you know, so my dad, sorry. To start off right, my dad worked, he's worked stucco his whole life, plastering. I don't know if you know what plastering is, just go search it up. It's stucco. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. It's like siding for houses, but instead of siding, it's like cement that you put on the wall. It's simple, okay? My dad's done that his whole life. Pretty much, for like 20 years, so my whole life. I'm 22. But, he did that for a good 20 years, like I said. And about 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, he wanted to start his own business, his own company. He did. He ended up going with, he started it with, alongside my cousin, using, you know, not my cousin, my uncle, sorry. One of my uncles, they started it. But my uncle has always been, how do I say this? Not a very good worker. He's very lazy, he's very, you know, I don't like talking about people like that, but he's very lazy. He has no ambition in life. He gets by with what he gets by, but him and my dad talked about it and this and that, and my dad wanted to help him out, and my uncle was like, yeah, let's do it, but my uncle quickly, it went backfired on him. So my dad, you know, my uncle got into it, blah, blah. My uncle quit, and it became my dad's business. You know, it was my dad, my other uncle, and me. Not my uncle that started the business. Okay, whatever. Point is, you know, I graduated high school. I went into it. He put the business under my name for various amount of reasons. And then, you know, I started working with him. I started learning stucco, and I quickly realized I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Okay, I quickly realized stucco is not something that I want to be doing when I'm 30. Okay, and I came to realize that. Okay, I already said that. But I came to realize that there's more to it than just, you know, the manual labor, because that's the one thing my dad and people alongside him, you know, I've realized, other business owners and stuff, is that growing up, my mom told me, and I'm pretty sure they've been told the same thing. If you want to make money, you have to put in the time. You have to put in the hours. Yes, that is true. Not with manual labor. Not with manual labor. With manual labor, if you put in the time and you put in the hours, you know who you're going to make money? Your boss. Your boss is going to be making that money. If you want to put in time into something, make it sales. Make it your own business. We started off as stucco. Now we do siding, stone, and roof. We do all the exterior. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get some concrete going. I'm trying to just get the whole thing going on. We went general, but I just do exteriors. That's all I promote myself doing. But if I can get the whole thing going, and that'd be good. That'd be really beneficial. I mean, we bought a lot about a couple months ago, probably towards the beginning of the year, and more like spring. We bought the lot in spring, and we're gonna try to become builders as well. You know, we're in the process of that. Plans have been submitted to the city. Anyways, that's not the point. The point of the story is, I'll talk about all that stuff another day. Moral of the story, summarize it all, is that time goes by fast. Okay, time goes by fast. And if you're not doing something that you want to be doing, if you're not being productive, if you're not going towards your goals, you're going to realize soon enough that, wow, I just wasted 5 years doing nothing. Now, like I said in the beginning, we're not all in my situation. There's people that are way better situations than I am. And there's people that are, I don't want to say worse, but not the same situations. You know, we're all in our own situation. We all have our own life, and we all have our own paths. We all make our own decisions, and we all get to where we want to be. That is a fact. What you need to do, I feel like what everyone needs to do, is take a step back from what they're doing, however old you are, the younger the better. And obviously, if you're not young, you can't do anything about it. But you know, if you can realize this right now, whatever age you're at, take a step back of whatever you're doing. You know, obviously, if you're at work, keep working. You shouldn't even be watching me if you're at work. Wait till the end. But take a step back and think, okay, what do I want to do with my life? Where do I see myself in 5 years? And I know that's such an interview question, but it's a fact. Actually, scrap that. I asked this question to my wife the other day, and she said that it stuck by her, and I'm going to ask you, and I want you to really think about it. What is the perfect Tuesday look like for you? What is the perfect Tuesday from the beginning of the day to the end of the day? What does that look like to you? I can tell you mine. I don't know yours, but I'll tell you mine. My perfect Tuesday would be I wake up 5:36, I go to the gym, I get back home, I shower, I eat breakfast, and then I go out to check on the houses I'm building. I go out to look at a house I might remodel, meet with clients, meet with investors, whatever. You know, I work. And I don't want to work all day unless I have to. I want to be able to say, okay, I just finished up here, I'm gonna go home and eat lunch. You know? Now my wife, she says she wants to be doing her own thing. She doesn't want to rely on me. I told her I'll take care of her, because I'm positive that's where I'm headed. You know, I fully know that I'm going to be able to take care of her and take care of us and take care of our future family. I fully know. She doesn't want to, and that's perfectly fine. I told her if she wants to work, she can work. And if she doesn't, I'm all for taking care of her. Whatever. Point is, I eat lunch with her, or I might go to her job and we can get lunch together. You know, I can take her lunch or whatever. And then after work, go home, go run whatever errands we gotta run, go to the grocery store, go pay a bill. I mean, you can do that online, but you know, whatever it may be, go do that. Shower, again, probably get in some comfy clothes, get in some pajamas. I started becoming a really big fan of pajama sets, whatever. And then put on a movie. Maybe we can read. We could, you know, go on a walk. Just chill, just relax. You know, that to me would be the perfect Tuesday. You know, go to sleep by like 9. I love being asleep by 9. I'm such an old person. I love sleeping by fucking 9:30 latest. But to me, that like I said, that's the perfect Tuesday. That would be my dream Tuesday. If I could live that Tuesday every week, I would be eternally happy. Now, obviously, life doesn't work like that. You know, life isn't all rainbows and sunshine. There's gonna be Tuesdays where my tire might pop. There's gonna be Tuesdays. Matter of fact, today's a Tuesday. There's gonna be Tuesdays where, you know, my car won't start. There's gonna be Tuesdays where I lose money on the stock market. There's gonna be Tuesdays where this or that or whatever. Point is, life isn't perfect. Life doesn't always work like that. But to me, that would be the perfect Tuesday. If I could live that Tuesday, I'd be eternally happy, etc. Right? Right. Okay. Now, ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. Sit back and think, why would that be the perfect Tuesday? What do I need to do to make that Tuesday possible? And then write all of that down, mentally or physically, however you feel. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. And then reflect on that and say, okay, so if I want to live, let's say your perfect life would be, you know, you don't work. I feel like that's everyone's perfect life. I like working. I like being, you know, active. I like being physically and mentally and all that. You know, I like being there. I like being somewhere else. I don't want to just be home all day either. I don't want to be sitting on my desk all day. I don't want to do that. I want to be out and about. I like clearing my mind. I like getting tired. That's one thing that I love. I love being tired, because when you're tired, you can fully rest. If you're not tired, you can't rest. That's a fact. Hopefully that's a fact, because I'd be saying that's a fact a lot, but etc. Point is, think about that, reflect on that, and then see what you gotta do to get there. And just know this, just understand this. It doesn't matter how old you are. I feel like, especially as young people, you know, if you're watching, I don't even know, this is my second video I've ever made, but this is the second video I've made, so I can't tell you you're gonna how old you are. I don't know my demographic of viewers. I might get like 0 viewers on this video. Whatever, I'm still gonna upload. But just think on that. Alright, so my camera decided to die. It got too hot apparently. I don't know. It's like 50 degrees outside and the sun's still shining through. I have to. I don't know. I turned on the windshield air and I put it as cold as it can get so it could, you know, cool the camera. But anyways, so I'm gonna have to yell a bit more so you can hear me. I mean, I'm already kind of talking loud because you're kind of far. But point of the story is, you know, I feel like as young people, we kind of want everything right away. You know, at least I know I do. I used to think that I was really patient and you know, whatever. I was really patient. I was really in tune with my inner Zen, and it didn't affect me, and I could wait as long as I wanted to, etc., etc. But it does. I really want stuff right away, and I struggle with that, especially when I know that I can have it. If I was just to work a little harder, or you know, do that little thing right there, that I'll work a little harder, do this, do that, that is not healthy at times. That can really be really bad, at least for me. Like, it really gets to me sometimes. I tell myself, like, hey, like, if you would do this, you know, you could be here, you could have this, etc., etc. And now, is it true? Maybe. I don't know. Am I gonna, you know, let it ruin my day? No, I'm not. I'm not like that. I can't be like that. I just pull up to the spot so we can chill, because I'm not gonna drive in circles. But let me park. Alright. I parked, I'm chilling. But pretty much, you know, like I said, as a young person, I feel like there's times where I struggle with this. I feel like, okay, so I feel like I'm running out of time. But I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and you know, not do anything either. I'm not gonna sit here and not be productive thinking that I got all the time in the world. I don't have all the time in the world. None of us do. But one thing that we should do is take advantage of the time that we have, you know. So me personally, I go out, I drive a lot. You know, I drive a lot because I go, like right now I'm gonna go drop off one of my subcontractors his payment, because he's gonna finish up doing some siding for me. You know, I'm driving there. Well, I said I'm gonna meet him in a bit. After that, I have to go to the post office. I probably won't record that, but later today I'm gonna go to the store in my car. I might record then, I don't know. But I go out a lot, I drive a lot, so I felt that I'm not gonna make the time. You know, I'm not gonna put stuff aside and make the time. You have to involve what you want to do with the time that you have, and that is free time that I have. Driving is, in a way, free time. Look at that. I recorded 2 videos. You know, this video is literally recorded after my last video. Literally right off the bat, I went in the bank, I came out, and then I'm on to the next video. That's how it happened. You have to really know what you want, because once you know what you want, you can say, okay, so I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. You know, back to what we were talking about, how you know, how you need to make a list, mental list or physical list, whatever, of what you want in your life. You have to do that, and you have to see, okay, so if I want to be, you know, an engineer, you know, obviously what do? You study for it, duh. You know, stuff like that. I want to be a YouTuber. Okay, you need to record videos. I want to be a rapper like I used to be. I used to want to be. You know, what do? You make music. If you don't know how to do it, you learn. And if you're not good at it, you're going to get good at it. You have to practice. You know, this YouTube thing, you know, I'm not good at it. This is probably like, in total, this is probably like the 5th video I've ever recorded. This is going to be the 2nd video that I upload though. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it at all. I'm horrible at it. I feel like I'm horrible at it. I feel like I stutter too much. I feel like I don't know what to say sometimes, whatever. I'm trying to just, I don't want to really edit these videos as like a lot. Like I might edit it because I might sneeze or I lost my train of thought, but I don't want to edit it and just cherry pick. Like, I want to upload me speaking fully. Like that. I want you guys to witness my growth, because I know, like I said, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm going to do. I know who I'm going to be. I am who I want to be. but I know who I'm going to be 5 years from now. I know who I'm going to be 10 years from now. I know it mentally. And now, the thing is, I might not get there in 5 years, but at least I know I'm on the right path. You know? At least I know that I'm doing what I wanted to do. So, just go for it. Literally go for it. Go for it. Whatever your Dream Tuesday is, work for that and go for it. Because you have one life, and time, it runs. And you're never, ever going to be able to catch up to it. So fucking go for it.